Thank you, Mr. Lynch. Mr. Sessions.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much to the sheriffs that are here, Loudoun County, and the distinguished gentleman from Tarrant County. Thank you for being here. Mr. Wayborn is a good friend of mine, and I applaud him. Mr. Cuccinelli, good to see you again. Thank you for your service to this country. I think it's interesting that we hear up here about the problem or problems and whose job it is, whether it be the Congress or whether it be something else. Well, let's just pin the tail on the donkey. It is the administration that is sending the welcome sign and making sure that people up and down, not just south of here, but all over the world, the word is out. I think the things that Stephen spoke about is exactly correct. The people who are losing are the American people, poor Americans, Americans who grew up here. This administration took some $370 million that was designed and earmarked or at least allocated in appropriations for veterans who've been disabled. They took that money from disabled veterans. What we're looking at is a political circumstance, and yet we forget that for 4 years, the Democrats had control of this body also. It is a tough issue. 2 weeks ago or 3, I was the speaker at an immigration ceremony where there were about 50 people in McLennan County, Texas, who came, and I spoke to them, and I told them, welcome to the United States. And I talked to them, and I told them this is their country now. But I told them, leave your customs behind because you're now an American. Leave the laws there behind. And they openly told me, yes, we went through extensive study. We believe that what we have learned in this process of legal immigration has helped us to be better citizens. While we sought the advantages that have been talked about in this subcommittee hearing of money, we really viewed it as I told them, you have a right and a responsibility. I will say to each and every one of you, I sit on the side where I believe that we should require everybody to go through that process. Legal immigration that we're confusing with someone in the attack against a Donald Trump. The bottom line is the law should be the law. They fail to say they blame it all on South America. It's 97 other countries also that people come from illegally. And they bring their customs with them, and they prey on those individual markets. They will go where people who are from their country are all across this country. And of course, you and I both know that sanctuary cities allow that. And I have dealt with, and I don't want to do it today, but I've dealt with how police officers, not sheriffs, police officers deal with illegals in sanctuary cities and literally do no record keeping because they know they're not looking at someone who is the real person. And they dismiss them because they don't want to house them. They do not hold them accountable for the same law that they'll hold Americans accountable for. They take billions of dollars, not just schools, not just health care, and move it to them. And then we've got people that come up here and say, we've just got to handle this bill because Uncle Sam will pay all this money. Well, I know what the money's for. The money's to take in an extra 1 million people illegally because it is embarrassing how they've jammed into cages. And when President Trump was in office and this surge did happen, they called him names because they were in cages. So what does the Biden administration do? They waive all the laws. They don't even take people, children, as they come across and follow them where they're going because there's so many. They're flooding our cities. They're flooding this country. And then we turn around and argue about levels of people who are committing crimes. It's a crazy thing. But the way you fix this is by having the authority and the responsibility to stop this, to control it, to give our men and women of law enforcement the opportunity to protect themselves and protect this country, and then go into a process that might be not only fair, but look right also. I've been to the border many times. It doesn't look right. You see all sorts of people coming across in their casual attire because they simply showed up and knew they'd get in. They take an Uber from San Diego, from Tijuana to come across. It is true. I've seen it. So for those of you who don't think it's true, you ought to go back, because you can see it anytime you want. So, gentlemen, thank you very much. You didn't just place something right in front of us and expect us to do the heavy lift. We know it deals with a president, the administration, who has to be honest about what they're doing also. Mr. Chairman, I want to thank the people who are here, all four of them, and I want to thank you for having us here, and I yield back my time.